deal so.
Not dealt so.
Keep going.
With any nation.
He had not dealt so with the Russians.
With any nation.
With the Israeli.
With any nation.
With the Spaniard.
With any nation.
With the African.
With any nation.
With the East Indian.
With any nation.
He says he ain't dealt so with any other nation. Keep reading.
And as for his judgments,
right,
they have not known them.
And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Just like the example I told you about up in Maine. They eat a whole ton of lobsters. They don't get as sick as we do when we eat that poison.
On Westboro.
Right.
This is why we gotta love one another. So what the brother said something to you you ain't like, forgive that brother. So what that brother stuffed on your toe, what you gonna kill him for that?
Not unallowing your brother is behavior, bro.
Bad himself and himself alone.
Palestinians that was George Floyd was unallowed. When Sandra Bland was unallowed.
Just to make it known, steady, ready, better watch your tone. I was 5'7", I was breaking. I had a 5'7", now I want the chrome. 9'11", I was in my zone. Lose the argument, I lose your dome. Who ain't no running up? Damn, now I'm coming up. They coming to kiss me, you dumb or what? You draw, you done enough. They told me don't rush it, just wait my time. Paying attention, I see the sign. Coming right to me like Amazon. No time for the tracks, I'm on the grind. Little shorty, you're sick and she knows she fine. Got a couple of so never mind. They throwing the shade cause they know I shine.
You better open this Bible. You better come back here and learn what it really says, because guess what? The people you've been learning the Bible from, they've been lying to you.
147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He says he shows his words unto Jacob. What is his words? His words is these scriptures right here, right? And who is Jacob? Jacob is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Jacob was Jacob had his name changed. He's a progenitor of the so-called black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. He had his name changed to Israel. Everybody that comes from Jacob are called Israelites, right? Because his name was changed to Israel, Prince of the Power, and we are princes of the power. You understand? So he shows his words. These are his words right here. This holy scripture, this Bible. He showed his words only unto so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Keep reading.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
What does that mean? His statutes and his judgment. That means his laws and the punishments for breaking those laws. He only showed that to us. If we eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, we're going to get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Oh, up in Baltimore, they have a thriving crabbing industry, right? Who is sick off of that stuff? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You know what I'm saying? You go up a little further north, they have in Maine, they have a lobster industry. Are they as sick as us? They eat just as much lobster as our people eat crabs. But we're the ones that are sick and dying of these diseases. Why? Because the Most High God only showed us these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is why we need to turn away from the Christian church, because they don't even know that this exists. Right. The reason why we're supposed to be above people, the reason why we are above all people, is because the Most High God chose us. And the way to do that is to follow his law, statutes, and commandments. Right. He only showed us. Keep reading.
Verse 20. He hath not dealt so.
He did deal so.
Not dealt so.
Keep going.
With any nation.
He had not dealt so with the Russians.
With any nation.
With the Israeli.
With any nation.
With the Spaniard.
With any nation.
With the African.
With any nation.
With the East Indian.
With any nation.
He says he ain't dealt so with any other nation. Keep reading.
And as for his judgments,
right,
they have not known them.
And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Just like the example I told you about up in Maine. They eat a whole ton of lobsters. They don't get as sick as we do when we eat that poison. Right. Them roaches of the sea. That's exactly what that is. Them shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, we ain't supposed to eat none of that stuff. Right. We ain't supposed to. They celebrate Christmas and birthdays, but our houses get burned down and shot up when we celebrate Christmas and birthdays. Right. Why? Because the Most High God told us not to do that.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please Go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one